What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with another Destiny 2 video. This time we've got a preview for the weekly reset coming up this Tuesday, and it'll be the 4th of March. So this is the very last week of Act 1. I believe there'll be a couple of bits of Heresy content in the mix this week. Otherwise, of course, while we wait for more details about the upcoming content in the next act, we do have another set of weekly challenges, so we'll round up all of the Heresy content and then featured activities, exotic drops, farmable loot this week, the Nightfall playlists and all of that good stuff. So if you guys enjoy this one, a rating below really does help us on the channel. Otherwise though, let's get into it. And first up, of course, this is the final week of Act 1 for Heresy. Something that might come up, not entirely sure, but we do have a triumph in the game called Dreadful Discoveries to complete all of the side quests via Sloane's dossier linked to Heresy Act 1. Now, this triumph is either bugged or there's something that we're still missing as part of Act 1. And if that's the case, possibly it'll come up at some point this week, but on that front, we'll just have to wait and see. Otherwise, all of the challenges for Heresy content will refresh. We do have continued opportunities to earn weapons and things in the Nether. And the only other thing worth mentioning, if you want to do any prep for Act 2, of course, we can hold on to seasonal challenges if we've already hit the max rank for Act 1. That will give us a bit of accelerated progress when we turn them in as part of Act 2. And additionally, as I mentioned in a video a couple of days ago, we can bank reputation for the shaping slab, which might be useful for Act 2 by holding on to metastasized essentia, as when we turn those in the relic at Eris's apartment, it does actually give us reputation. That might be useful for the upcoming Baradiad quests and other objectives as part of Act 2. Obviously, get up to date with the Baradiad quest itself if you want to continue working on those. And it will also be worth holding on to things like Essence of Desire, getting a max stack of those, and of course Sigil Shards, as they will still be useful as part of Act 2. So there are a few things we can do if you want to spend any time prepping, or just hold on to those materials this week since they'll still be useful in Act 2. Something to think about, but otherwise, for this week, the challenges include Heretical Arsenal, once again, to defeat combatants with auto-rifle final blows, and we get bonus progress inside of Heresy activities. But the challenge, of course, offers the special Masterworked reward with an additional origin trait, so this week it'll be the Adamantite, the auto-rifle from the set. Otherwise, we have Beat Back the Nether to complete encounters in the Nether with runic enhancements equipped that are worth at least 5 Sigil Shards. And that's the one that will give us the Curio of the 9 for the week. Otherwise, we've got In the Zone to capture zones in Crucible's Zone Capture playlist, and we get bonus progress for obtaining the highest score in a match. As well as Boss Battle, which requires us to defeat bosses in Strikes or Vanguard playlists, and we get bonus progress for defeating bosses on Advanced Difficulty or higher. Otherwise, there's Energy Distribution to get final blows with energy slot weapons, bonus progress there for defeating Guardians. And finally, there'll be another unnamed challenge right here. We can't see it in the database ahead of time, but it lists getting kills with an auto rifle, unless of course it links to the Heretical Arsenal triumph. We'll have to wait and see. Otherwise, this week we do have another refresh for Sundered Doctrine, of course, so all the best if you're going after the exotic still. We'll have renewed chances on all of our characters. Then moving over to the Pale Heart, we'll get the normal refresh stuff, so we'll get a new featured co-op mission with a pinnacle drop. On top of that, there's still a pinnacle drop from Salvation's Edge and from Excision. Moving over to the Nightfall for the week though, this time around we'll get Heist Battleground Mars, and we don't know what the featured weapon will actually be just yet. We got a new one or an updated one last week with Palindrome, with Grandmasters drop in. Hopefully this week, if we're a bit lucky, we'll get the Void Sidearm Lotus Eater, which is new for this season. That'll be pretty cool, but of course it could be any of the weapons from the rotation. I guess we'll just have to see how kind Bungie are feeling this week. Otherwise, in the Crucible, while we don't know all of the playlists that'll be featured for the week, we can say, of course, that Trials will return on Friday once again, so enjoy that when it comes around. Then for featured raids this week, we've got Last Wish, which can drop 1,000 voices, as well as its legendary loot pool. And then Vow of Disciple on the Throne World right here is also featured, and there we can get Collective Obligation, all of the stuff farmable when the raids are featured, so good time to go in without any reward lockouts. The same can be said for the Duality Dungeon as well this week, and there we can get the Heart Shadow, but on top of that, Shattered Throne in the Dreaming City will also be featured this week, so good luck on the hunt if you're after any rewards from those. Final few items now though. The exotic mission this week will be Presage, where we can of course pick up the Dead Man's Tail and all of its upgrades. And otherwise, for Days of Eternity, on top of the core loot drops, we can get the Rotation 2 drops, which include includes Perfectus armor and Scatterhorn armor sets, as well as a bunch of weapons from Season of the Chosen, and worthy as additional drops. Finally though, for Lost Sectors this week, Blooming Deep will be featured on Tuesday, then moving through the week we'll get Bunker E15 on Wednesday, Perdition on Thursday, then Vel's Labyrinth for Friday, Exodus Garden 2A for Saturday, and Aphelion's Rest on Sunday. And of course, the Lost Sectors are good if you want to farm exotic engrams for solo completions or indeed world weapons. Then our very final mention, if you happen to need it, would be for the Ascendant Challenge this week, which will be the Keep-of-Owned Edges, which can be found via Harbinger's Seclude. So not too bad to get to, but if you want the location, I'll run a clip at the end of the video. For now though guys, that's what we have to speak about in this one, so as always I hope you found it useful. If you have, a rating below really does help us on the channel. Also get subscribed if you're new around here and I'll keep you posted with more Destiny content, but otherwise, cheers for watching and I hope you guys have an awesome day.
Invite the horror in. Hold it close. Reach into the unknown and prepare for it to reach back.